All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we are now going to recap the final division series that we didn't get to yet, and that is the Texas Rangers sweeping the Baltimore Orioles. Now, obviously, I said that the Rangers, I think, have the best chance to upset their opponent. So I at least got that right. I still had the Orioles moving on to the championship series. But, I mean, the Rangers, they showed they were the better team in this series. And I want to apologize to them because, listen, they came into the postseason flat. They have not lost a postseason game yet. Okay, same as the Diamondbacks. Okay? They swept the Rays, and now they sweep the Orioles. The Orioles just, they lost a couple of close games, and you kind of figured going back to Texas, the series was a wrap. So let's go through it. So in Game 1, the Rangers had Andrew Heaney starting the game. Obviously, he didn't pitch that long. They put Dunning in relief after him. Going up against Bradish. Rangers ended up getting the win there, winning 3-2. Evan Carter had an RBI double in the top of the fourth to make it 1-0. This is Saturday's game. Jonah Heim, he singled to make it 2-0. Ryan Mountcastle doubled to make it 2-1. And then Josh Young, he homered to make it 3-1. And then Anthony Santander homered in the bottom of the sixth, and that was all the scoring. Final score was 3-2. Andrew Heaney went 3 2/3, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Dunning pitched 2 innings. He gave up a run and a hit, or 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 K. And the bullpen did its job. I mean, Aroldis Chapman gave people a heart attack, as he does in the postseason. He walked some guys, but he was able to get out of it. And then Leclerc, he ended up closing the game out for the Rangers. So actually, yeah, let's go to that inning, of course, because we got to see what happened. Got to remind myself because it happened last week. So he walked Austin Hayes. Then there was a wild pitch. Then he walked Adley Rutschman. He got Anthony Santander to ground out into a double play, and then he struck out Ryan Mountcastle, and that was on like 103 miles per hour or something like that. So yeah, Chapman was able to work out of it. Rangers got the win there. So then in Game 2 on Sunday, it was a offensive outburst. The final score ended up being 11-8 in this game. Jordan Montgomery pitched in that game, really did not pitch that well. 4 innings, 4 earned runs, 9 hits, so he really didn't last that long. But the bullpen, did its job for the most part. Burke, he gave up 2 runs, and Leclerc gave up a home run, or a run in the actually, no, he did give up a home run in the bottom of the ninth. That was a home run off of Aaron Hicks hit that home run. So, yeah, let's go to the box score, or the game summary. So Aaron Hicks, he started off the game. So the Orioles, they got on the board first. I mean, they struck first. Aaron Hicks had a 2-run single to make it 2-0 Orioles. Then Tavares, he tied the game in the top of the second with a 2-run double of his own. Mitch Garver singled to make it 3-2. Adolis Garcia made it 4-2 with the single. Jonah Heim singled to make it 5-2. Mitch Garver then in the top of the third hit a grand slam to make it 9-2. Bottom of the fourth, Orioles, Jorge Mateo, he singled to make it 9-3. Ryan Mountcastle grounded out to make it 9-4. Top of the fifth, Mitch Garver grounded into a double play to make it 10, and that scored a run, so that made it 10-4. Gunnar Henderson hit a home run to make it 10-5. Marcus Semien made it 11-5 with the ground out. And then Aaron Hicks homered in the bottom of the ninth to make it 11-8. So that ended up being the final score. Trying to hold in the sneeze again. Okay. All right. I don't know how many times. This has happened like several times where I'm like holding in a sneeze. The allergies again are acting up today. So this is great. That's why I was like struggling to finish the. I think it was one of the previous segments because I'm like the allergies are not being kind to me right now. But yeah, I mean Aaron Hicks had 5 RBIs in this game, and Mitch Garver had 5 RBIs for himself. But yeah, Orioles pitching was not good. Grayson Rodriguez, he started. He gave up 5 earned runs. Baker gave up 3 earned runs. Webb and Flaherty they gave up runs, and Cano gave up a run as well. So, yeah. Rangers won Game 2, 11-8, and then they got it done in Texas, winning pretty handily 7-1. Nathan Eovaldi, again, had a masterful performance. Corey Seager hit a home run to make it 1-0 Rangers. Mitch Garver doubled to make it 3-0. Adolis Garcia, the big blow, hit a 3-run home run to make it 6-0. Gunnar Henderson singled in the top of the fifth to make it 6-1, and then Nathaniel Lau homer to make it 7-1. And that was all she wrote. Nathan Eovaldi went 7 innings, gave up a run, 7 strikeouts. Chapman and Leclerc then shut it down there. And, the Orioles got knocked out. Dean Kramer gave up 6 earned runs in this game. And, that's all she wrote. That is all she wrote. The Rangers, they move on, and they will be playing the Houston Astros to go to the World Series. And, listen, after what the Rangers... you really look up and down the Rangers lineup. That lineup is very good. A mix of young players and veterans. The rotation with Eovaldi at the top. And I think they might be getting Max Scherzer back, so, I don't know if it's kind of a bad thing, because you look at that more as a negative than a positive because of how he's been lately. But, the Rangers, they have a very good chance to beat the Astros. I give them a great chance because I think they have the lineup to compete with the Astros. I think with Nathan Eovaldi at the top of the rotation, and you hope Montgomery could figure it out. Sorry, my dog was right outside my door. I give them a shot. I give them a very good chance. I think that this series between them and the Astros probably goes 7 games. But I probably have to give the edge to the Astros just because I can't pick against them as much as I would want to. For me, the bottom line is this. I just hope it's a great series. And I think it will be. Actually, one thing that could possibly happen, and that honestly would be very funny, is if Jose Altuve hit another walk-off home run off of Chapman to send the Astros to the World Series. That would be very funny. It would give us Yankee fans some flashbacks, but, listen, you got a lot of ex-Yankees on that team. You got Jordan Montgomery, Nathan Eovaldi, Chapman. So good for them. But this team is very good. It's just for me though, like they went into the playoffs, and they went in flat. They choked away the AL West, and I was just like, I think they, but they turned it on. They turned it on in the postseason. And they've looked really good. So, I give them a great chance. I think it goes 7 games, but I think the Astros take it. Then as for the other series, like I said, I think I got the Phillies in 6. So it's going to be a rematch of the Phillies and the Astros in the World Series. Now, me personally, I would rather it be Rangers-Phillies for certain reasons. But you know what? Regardless, and it's unfortunate because, again, I'm disrespecting the Diamondbacks, and I don't want to do that. But, we're just going to have to wait and see. But that's my predictions when it comes to the series. But, obviously with this segment, the Rangers and the Orioles. The Orioles, listen, they had a great season. They're a young team. They'll be back here again next year. But, the Rangers, they just ran into a better team. And, they got to improve the starting rotation. I think that's one of the big things going into the offseason because, Dean Kramer didn't pitch well. Rodriguez didn't pitch well. Bradish pitched the best game out of the starters. And he was their best starter this year. But, that was their concern going into the postseason. And that's, what ended up knocking them out. They lost. The first 2 games were close. Well, really the first one. Aaron Hicks hit a 3-run home run. When it was kind of a empty calories home run, basically. It only got them to within 3. But, the Rangers pretty much dominated this series. And they looked like a much better team. So, Yeah, but I mean, this series against the Astros is going to be, I mean, it's going to be awesome. I mean, you got two powerhouse lineups going at it. If you could get Scherzer back, maybe you see Scherzer and Verlander, a rematch from earlier in the season when, well, Scherzer pitched really bad. But you got these two former teammates going at it in the playoffs. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the series. It should be good. I think it goes 7 games. But ultimately, I think what we're going to end up with is the same thing we got last year. That is the Phillies and the Astros. Which, again, will still be a good World Series, but, you know, maybe we see Texas against Philadelphia, huh? Why not? But, yeah, right now that's what I probably lean towards. I'd probably lean towards saying it's going to be Astros and the Phillies again. So, yeah. But, yeah, that's pretty much it, recapping all the division series. Obviously, a lot happened today. Some technical issues with my sound in the football podcast. I still got the Patreons that I got to record shortly after this, so I'll do the baseball one first, and then the football one shortly after that. Obviously, I got, the shorts that come out, so, make sure to look out for those. I'll be working on getting yesterday's football podcast up, the 4 parts. We're switching servers. So, the audio, the just audio ones, they're not going to be out for a little bit. But once we figure all that out, we'll have those on Spotify and Apple Music or wherever you get your podcasts. So, so you can listen to those. But that's pretty much it. Obviously, I'm still not done yet. We're recording the Patreon. Still, ticked off at myself that I didn't realize that I had no sound. But, it's going to happen, of course. But also, I said this while I was, streaming the football podcast before I realized the sound was out. My camera, started going crazy. Like flashing colors, like rainbow, like crazy. Rainbow colors, like crazy. It was like something you saw out of Into the Spider-Verse. I was like, what is going on? So I thought I was going to have to use my laptop camera instead, but, that's not the case. So, and then it ended up working out anyways, but there's always some technical issues going on. But, listen, it's going to happen. But, yeah, it was something very, something I should have noticed, which I usually do notice. Like, I'm looking at the, the software that we're using, and, I see the volume levels moving, so I know that I got sound. It's just, for some reason, I just, did not notice it when I was streaming before doing the football podcast. But, hey, it's no harm, no foul. It's, these things are going to happen, but just got to make sure it doesn't happen again because, don't want to have to go through this again. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think, when it comes to the championship series. Who do you guys like advancing to the World Series? Obviously, it's good to be doing, one of these shows again. Of course, it's going to be another week until I do the other because that's how the new schedule is moving forward. Because obviously, I have a lot going on myself. So, this is how we're going to do it. And, we're making it work. Obviously, it's probably for the better also just because, in the off season, there's going to be not that much to really talk about. So, I even said it too. It's going to be harder to come up with topics every single day when you got, nothing really going on. But, hey, we're making it work. So that's all that matters. But, yeah, once again, though, I just want to remind you guys. So, again, next Friday, 12:45 Eastern Time, that'll be the next episode of the GSMC Baseball Podcast. That'll be shortly after I do the football podcast. So, obviously, the first day of doing the double show wasn't perfect. There was a huge error. But moving forward, we will make sure that does not happen again. And if it does, like I said, to close out the football show, then I'd be considered a fraud. and I kind of dissed Sean Payton, the head coach of the Broncos, by relating myself to him then, which hopefully he never sees that. But I just felt like saying. But that was just to be funny. So, but yeah, with that is all the time that we have for today. I thank you guys for watching. I hope everybody enjoys the games, the series, and we will see what happens and see how it plays out. I'm going to go record the Patreon for both of the football and the baseball. I'll be doing the baseball shortly after this. So, so until next week, I'm Kenneth Gruenfelder signing off. Have a good weekend, and I will see you guys next time. Well, I'll see you guys Monday for the football podcast, but for the baseball people, I'll see you guys next Friday, 12:45 Eastern Time. So have a good weekend, take care, and I'll see you then.